Air Serve Heating and Air in West Waynesville is working these days, keeping their customers cool with Luxair's high-performance heating and air conditioning equipment, which is top of the line. Since 1954, Luxair has stood for uncompromising quality and unmistakable attention to detail. Air Serve is your Luxair dealer, but they service all brands. So if your AC is not performing up to par, contact Air Serve at 505 Historic Route 66 at 433-3613 or 774-7805. When Mother Nature turns on the heat, you turn on the air. It's the
this
cool thing to
contest
do.
Between Waynesville and the visiting Camdenton
Hear that?
Lakers.
That's
It's been
the
all
plumpest,
Camdenton.
juiciest hot
Here
dogs
in
you've
the
ever
first
seen
half
getting their
tonight,
grill
they
on.
lead this
But
one
we both know what'll make it sound even
35-0.
better.
The marching band giving
Oh
us
yeah, it's a
preview of
Pepsi to
their
go with your
show
hot
as they
dog.
come off
Because
the
when you're
field. But of
chomping on
course,
America's
Connor
favorite
Hartman,
meal,
Garrett Bowles here
relish
with you
mustard
today.
and onions
See
perfectly
102.3.
blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only
Take a look
one
at the
thing
first
that makes
half, Garrett.
everything about that
Like we
moment
said
better.
just before
A
the
cold,
break,
refreshing
some
Pepsi.
positives, some negatives as well.
See what I mean?
But
It's
unfortunately,
like
just
music
been
to my
Camdenton who's
ears.
been the better football
Hot
team
dogs. Better with Pepsi.
As
That's what I
Camdenton
like.
has the ability to just so simply make an explosive play, kind of run out of nowhere. There's a popular saying in the NFL, hey, just run the touchdown play. That's something that the Lakers have been doing pretty much all night for the success of 5 touchdowns now, most of them very deep down the field, and another that was a simple run in on a quarterback keeper that almost was a touchdown. It was still a deep pass down the field at that to set up that big touchdown play, but either way, this has just been a great showing out for really both teams. I think the explosive plays on the Camdenton side have just kind of dominated the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look here. I mean, Camdenton, they've basically had it going on offense. They've really kind of had their pick of what to do. They've gone through the air, and they have gone through it often. And, of course, we'll get to the scoring summary here in just a moment. Garrett, I think you have the stats ready as well. But, yeah, I mean, positives. We need to stick to the positives here as Waynesville starts in on this 3-game stretch. And you really look at the defense primarily, Garrett. The defense, well, yeah, they gave up 35 points. Let's get maybe a little more specific. The defensive line has been very solid here tonight. They're forcing Shore, who is very capable of making throws on the run, making those difficult throws, even tucking and running. We haven't been able to see him scramble too much tonight. He's been able to throw it, but he hasn't really been able to get it going scrambling-wise. And, of course, they've even been able to get to him a couple times. 1 sack, the forced fumble, but a couple pressures leading to some bad throws here and there. It's been a pretty solid showing for the defensive line when it's all said and done.
It definitely has. They're coming out hard and heavy right now, trying to get whatever pressure they can on the quarterback. I think the next level of that, right now, very, very good showing so far for the Waynesville defensive line. The next step in that progression, though, is shedding those blocks and kind of getting a free run at the quarterback. That doesn't happen often, and I'm not saying that's something they can do on every play, but if they can continue to sort of mold these defensive linemen in that sort of formation, it's going to be a good year. This game kind of coming out of hand pretty quick, but they have a tough schedule ahead of them, the Waynesville Tigers do. You got to remember this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the game at home. We've got 2 games on the road next week and the week after that. We'll talk about those games when we get there, maybe a little bit later on here tonight. But let's look at the secondary. Of course, the secondary, they've had a challenge tonight. They've had some tough players to guard out there in the deep field here today. But, I mean, players, well, if you want to look at the positive, you even kind of mentioned it. On that last Camdenton drive, they're looking so much better, the secondary, at following the man and turning around when they know that ball is coming. No pass interference penalties here tonight for this Waynesville secondary. They're doing a much better job. They've shown improvement there in that category, even if they're still getting beat a couple times down deep.
You're absolutely right. A chance for a couple of interceptions along the way as well. Bear Shore, not the easiest guy to intercept, and they've been a couple of close plays right there, and that's all thanks to probably an adjustment by Coach Barkley, I think, over the past couple of days to go from several at times pass interferences throughout the game to giving up big plays, whether you're touching the receiver before the ball gets him or just running over him sometimes. Right now, it has been certainly a success, at least on that part of the football for Coach Barkley, getting these guys to turn their heads and turn their hips and make a play on the football, potentially getting an interception. Wouldn't be surprised if they can get one here in the second half.
Yeah, obviously 2 teams that love to throw the football in different weeks. You had Glendale in week 1, and then, of course, you had Camdenton here in week 3. Glendale didn't have too many opportunities for picks because they were going for the ball carrier. They're going for the intended receiver first, not trying to knock that ball out of the sky. This time, you're playing the ball, and really, you haven't been able to pick up an interception yet. You've knocked a couple of good chances away, but you're still getting that opportunity, and I think you got to give a special shout out there. There's a lot of progress being made there. So if they're able to keep that up, we might see, maybe before the end of this game, one of those defensive backs able to hang on to a pass here today. But of course, we will go ahead and take ourselves another break. We'll go ahead and take ourselves about 3 or 4 minutes here. We've got about 9 minutes before they add the 3 minutes on, so still about 12 minutes left in this halftime period. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Waynesville offense here a little bit. Of course, they haven't been able to find the end zone just yet. They found some yards, just need to find their way into the end zone. We'll talk about maybe some adjustments we would like them to make. And then, of course, we'll also take a look at some scores from around the Ozark Conference here as well. Game in the books, but some other games at halftime most likely. Back in 3 minutes. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football, Z102.3.
This is Brad Shelton at the Marys County Bank. Every day, the Marys County Bank touches every corner of your life and supports you as you turn your life's goals into accomplishments. Whether it's purchasing your first car, opening a small business, buying a home, planning a wedding, or preparing for retirement. From your first car to a new life after retirement, the Marys County Bank is there for all your life's milestones with our full line of products. Stop by one of our 10 locations and see how the Marys County Bank can support your dreams. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Mailbox It in St. Robert is now your complete shipping headquarters. Mailbox It is a UPS authorized shipping agent. They can ship your package UPS, accept UPS drop-offs, and can accept UPS returns with a shipping label. Add FedEx and the United States Postal Service, and why go anywhere else? Mailbox It is the go-to resource for packing, shipping, printing, and business service needs. Mailbox It is a copy, print, and document service center. They can even print your photos and canvases. Mailbox It, 213 Suite 3, St. Robert Boulevard.
Lowe's Chevrolet in Waynesville is one of Missouri's top-performing Chevy dealers. They're locally owned and operated. Lowe's Chevrolet is getting more new inventory every week. When the semi-truck rolls onto the Lowe's Chevrolet parking lot, pick what you want off the truck right there on the spot. Check back often to see what new vehicles have arrived. Find them online at lowchevy.com. And of course, see them off I-44, exit 156, Waynesville.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Here at Mountain Dew, we'd like to remind you, life doesn't always have to be so serious. You gotta know what's important and what's not important. Here's a checklist. Knowing how to tie a tie, not important. Standing up for your friends, important. Keeping a diary, not important. Always keeping some Mountain Dew in the fridge, important. Trying all the different bold flavors of Mountain Dew, important. Like Mountain Dew Spark, important. Mountain Dew Major Melon, important. Mountain Dew Code Red, important. Mountain Dew Voltage, important. Mountain Dew Livewire, important. Experience the boldest flavors on earth. Do the Dew.
Saying goodbye to those we love is made a little easier. Just knowing your memories are safely kept within Sunset Memorial Estates Cemetery. This is Martin Vernon, owner of Memorial Chapels and Crematory. Burial at our Sunset Memorial Estates provides the respect and personalized ceremony families expect and offers many options to military families, including personalized monument selection. For more information, contact Memorial Chapels and Crematory.
Back here once again at Tiger Stadium in Waynesville. Still at half. We've got about 8.5 minutes or so before we get back going here with this one. Connor Harvick, Garrett Bowles right here with you on Z102.3. A 35-0 advantage here for the Camdenton Lakers. It's been pretty much all Camdenton here today. And as we've been stressing, Garrett, there's been some positives and negatives for Waynesville. But now we take briefly a quick look on the offensive side of things. And offensively, it's been, again, a mixed bag here for Waynesville, if we're being honest. They've been able to get yards at time. That second drive in particular, they were able to knock them out for 8, 9, even a couple big gains. Chase Thomas-Plummer with the biggest gain of the day here for Waynesville at 18 yards. But at the end of the day, they just haven't been able to finish their drives here tonight. A couple of fourth downs, a couple of interceptions. They're just not able to finish it up and pick up those points.
That is exactly what I was going to say about this ball game so far. They've started to move the football. They show signs of life, the Tigers do, but every once in a while, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a big hit in the backfield, they just aren't built to kind of come back from those mistakes quite yet. That's kind of the difference between them and the Lakers. Lakers have made a lot of mistakes so far in the game as well, but those big plays kind of erase that, and so far Waynesville Tigers not quite able to move in that direction so far. They still have some great stats, though. Still have some great numbers here. 86 rush yards in the first half. Nothing to sneeze at right there. That's not anything to complain about or be upset about. And then 11 yards through the air as well. That's good for 1 interception, 1 fumble as well in the turnover game so far. But it's been impressive so far still yet for the Waynesville Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you got to come out. You really got to stick to your game plan. Again, Waynesville, this unique offense that they've got. The snap can either go to the running back or the quarterback. We've seen teams be really kind of crisscrossed on it at times. Of course, it's always a little bit confusing to see the running back take the snap, fake it to the quarterback, and then keep it himself. But if you can kind of keep building on that here and really kind of keep the Camdenton defense guessing, there's always a chance you can find a big gain and really put some points on the board. So we'll kind of wait and see how they kind of come out here. But again, some stats for Camdenton, Garrett, as Bear Shore having another big one here today.
He is having a big one so far. Not a whole lot of stats that I have for the other guys, but Shore's the star. That's what you're going to do. Obviously, as we approach closer to the end of the game, I'll start tallying up for the different wide receivers on the Lakers side and the Waynesville Tigers. But for Bear Shore so far, 316 yards. He's got 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. I haven't figured out the exact completion percentage quite yet, though. I will say it's got to be fairly high. It's got to be a very good level right there. And, of course, the 1 fumble that we saw in the backfield that the Tigers forced off of a big sack. But overall, I think you take that if you're Bear Shore and the rest of this Camdenton offense, able to move the ball downfield very explosively and very efficiently at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, again, a very special offense. You can't say enough good things about this Camdenton side. They were expected to come in and do big things here this season, and so far, they really have done the big things expected of them. They come in, they shut out Rolla, they come up with a big win over Kickapoo, who, of course, we will see next week on the road, and then tonight, it's really just been a continuation of what they have been known for this year. So let's go ahead and take a look here, Garrett, at some games from elsewhere in the area. We'll go ahead and take a look here at the Ozark Conference and then, of course, District as well. We'll take a look from outside the conference. Got some scores first and some big ranked games to talk about here. It's at the top of my list, so we might as well just go top to bottom here. The big game, the one everyone was talking about, that was, of course, Carthage and Nixa. Right now, Class 5's beating Class 6. It's Carthage 14 and Nixa 7. Remember, Nixa easily handling Webb City back in Week 1, so Carthage, could they be the real deal here in Class 5? They've certainly got some talent there. Luke Gall, one of the best players in the state for sure. Of course, Carthage, the team I grew up playing all the time. Can't remember them being this good here at football, so maybe we'll see if they are the real deal. Speaking of real deals, number 1 Lamar, they are leading Monette 42-0. Webb City, they are taking on Republic here today. Republic unranked. This is a score here to watch. 14-7. Webb City only leading by 7 against Republic there in that one. Of course, number 3, Nevada defeating East Newton 68-0. And then, of course, you have Lebanon and Kickapoo. That was a game we were watching, especially because it is going to matter for us here in the Ozark Conference. Right now, Lebanon 10, Kickapoo nothing. That being in the third quarter. So Kickapoo, again, looking for the upset over the ranked opponent. But right now, it is the Yellow Jackets out in front there in that one. Of course, we did have another final. That game played on Thursday. West Plains, number 9 in Class 4. They defeat Hillcrest today, 55-0. Some other games that we need to talk about, some games that maybe matter for the conference and beyond. Branson tied with Willard here at the moment, 7-7. That game in the third quarter. Of course, Branson, the Pirates, a district opponent of Waynesville. Bolivar defeating Parkview at the moment, 28-6. That is a game in the second quarter, at least at last update there. So the Liberators well out in front. Glendale defeating Rolla, 18-7. There in the third quarter as well. And I think that's pretty much it for all of the scores from the Ozark Conference. And as I look around, maybe an important score. Neosho 35, Carl Junction 15. We'll go ahead and talk about that one there. I know those two schools. I played them a bunch in high school, so we'll go ahead and mention them once again. That's how I sometimes kind of judge what to talk about. So anyway, we'll go ahead and take ourselves... Well, no, we'll go ahead and keep it right here, Garrett, as it looks like I may have talked myself right on through that last 3-minute break. So we'll go ahead and get going here, as I think we're about to get going with the second half. Garrett, any final thoughts before we start off this second half?
I think when Coach Kyle Barkley signed a contract and came here, he knew this wasn't going to be a one-year rebuild. I think at the end of the day, he knew that this team, throughout the season, the goal is to get better. I think throughout the season and throughout the rest of this game, that's what Coach Barkley is no doubt telling his players. Get better. Every snap, every throw, every catch, every step you take onto the turf there needs to be better than the one you had before it. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how the players respond to that. It is so easy to let the Lakers kind of come in and just snowball you after 5 unanswered touchdowns. Waynesville so far hasn't showed that they're willing to let that happen, even though the score is a little bit lopsided right now. The Tigers have shown that they are not going to give up. They're going to continue to get better. And I think Coach Barkley would rather see a lead right now, but at the end of the day, he's happy his guys are getting better.
Yeah, I think you pretty much summed it up here correctly. Waynesville has been a team that has been down the last couple of years, but it's really all about improvement and really kind of bringing the team up. And I think at this point, you just got to play, you got to keep getting those live snaps, and you got to get better as the year progresses. So look for them to keep trying to right the mistakes that are made. It wasn't a perfect first half. We pretty much can tell that by the scoreboard, but what are you going to do to rectify the mistakes you made in the first 24 minutes and maybe have a better second half here? So again, Waynesville will receive. They actually threw another 3 minutes up on the clock, so it looks like I didn't talk my way through it. Both teams are on the field, though, so we might actually get going here a little bit early. I was a bit fooled because Waynesville had come out onto the field already. But yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and get going here. So it's going to be Camdenton to kick it away. Of course, Waynesville, a couple men back to receive. That does include Brandon Howard, who's done a bulk of the returning tonight. Most of the kicks have drifted off to the left, off towards Howard out there.
Done a great job so far tonight, too.
Yeah, Howard with several 20-yard plus returns, which is about where you want it. You want to try to get to about that 30-yard line or so. He's done that fairly consistently. Here's a squib kick, though, to start, but flag's going to be thrown. And it looks like maybe Camdenton was offsides there on the kick. We're going to back it up and try it again.
Yeah, when you know that squib kick is coming from your kicker, you'd love to get upfield as fast as possible, put a big hit on whoever touches that football first. Lakers a little too anxious, maybe a little too jumpy there. We'll march it back a couple of yards here. Better field position at the end of the day for the Tigers, more than likely.
Now we will see, as now instead of kicking from the 40, Durnan will have to kick from the 35 of the Lakers. We'll put that 12 minutes back up on the clock. And we'll see if Camdenton just kicks it deep this time, or maybe if they try the same thing. Waynesville definitely expecting it at this point. They are definitely aware that the kick might be coming, the squib kick anyway. But Durnan going to approach the football. And this time the kick, it's going to go deep. Who's going to return it? It'll be Brandon Howard leaping up and making the grab this time, but he will have some downfield blockers. Hit initially at the 25, and that's where he'll fall here about the 26, 27-yard line. So again, we will go ahead and note the turbo clock will be in effect. 35 points in the second half. That is exactly where we are at. So the clock going to continue to run after any play that isn't, I believe, any play that isn't an official's timeout. I think that is, and of course, well, we'll see on that one.
We'll keep you posted on that one.
We'll keep you posted where the clock goes here, but it is going to go ahead and start here. 35-0 is the score as Waynesville lines up here for first down and 10. Vernon, the quarterback. One back in the backfield. Thomas Plummer sent in motion. Direct snap, though, to Kelsey Jr. Going to follow those blockers. Looks like he might have gotten tripped up, though, before he was able to get too much there. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Gain of 2 is how we'll start the second half here. Already a minute gone by here in this third quarter. This ball game about an hour and a half old, 8:38. Again, glad you could join us here on Z102.3. Thomas Plummer again sent in motion, fakes the handoff though. Vernon keeps it for himself. Maybe a yard past the line of scrimmage here, and it'll be third down.
Yeah, just a short gain there by Vernon. I am still rather shocked at the limited uses of Chase Thomas Plummer tonight so far. I can't really understand why he isn't getting a bulk of the carries. Then again, Coach Barkley down there on the field and me sitting up here in the AC.
The AC we use loosely here. Still pretty hot here tonight, although it is getting a little bit cooler here at about 76 degrees or so. So third down and 7. Going to be a handoff to Thomas Plummer. You get your wish here, Garrett. He's going to reward you. Going to be awfully close to that first down marker. Looks like he may have been a bit too short, though. It's going to be fourth down and very short. Ball's going to be placed. No, they're going to go ahead and give it to him. Okay, excuse me. As I always say, I'm about a yard or so short or shy or long every time. This time, Thomas Plummer gets the benefit. And it'll be a first down and 10 as Thomas Plummer takes that ball from the wingback spot.
Yeah, and I am not surprised that he was able to turn that one into a good gain. I think I've sang his praises quite a bit tonight, and rightfully deserved. He's a good player. Give him the ball maybe a little more here.
Direct snap here to the quarterback. That's going to be Godwin on first down and 10. Able to follow through those big offensive linemen. Gets about maybe 6 here on first down. Solid chunk of change here, second down and 4. Nope, give him about 7 here. Second down and 3. Ball is on the Waynesville 43-yard line here at the moment. Approaching midfield. Another snap off to Godwin. Tripped up, but falls forward for a positive gain. Off towards that 45. They'll give him about a half yard more. And it looks like it's going to be third and very, very short. Third down and just a couple inches here.
Yeah, very close on that one there. Third and about a couple of inches, it looks like what it is to me, though my depth perception, not the best.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just wait it out. I think it's a lesson I could certainly learn. Third down and a few inches. Maybe I'd get more right. David Vernon again at quarterback, but it's going to be a snap off to Michael Kelsey Jr. He'll have the first down. Gets about 4 or 5 on the play. That'll be enough to move the chains. First down and 10.
Depth perception, not an issue there. He cleared that first down marker by quite a bit. Great play there by Kelsey Jr.
Yep, to the Camdenton side of the field we go. First and 10, now on the 48-yard line. Same formation, wing back on the right side. Bishop Godwin on the carry. Into the linebackers he goes. Forward for about 5. Make it second and 5 now. This drive now just shy of 5 minutes long. Of course, assisted along by that turbo clock. They're taking a huge chunk of change here. Steady yards coming through.
Steady yards indeed. It's been impressive to see the Waynesville Tigers not get sort of out of their normal game plan right here. Just keep the ball moving, keep it rolling, practice those formations, and like we said, get better.
Second and 5 here. Handoff off to Thomas Plummer. Going to try to cut it upfield. Jukes off to his right, still on his feet as he gets past the first down marker. He'll cross the 35-yard line of Camdenton before finally being taken down. Well, looks like they might just give him the 35. It's still enough for the first down, though. It's Thomas Plummer, a good cut upfield, and then a good juke back out towards the sideline here. That's the kind of running we want to see him do. You always want to maybe cut upfield and get some yardage first, and then try to bounce it out to the sideline like he wants to.
That's absolutely right. You got to stay inside just long enough to where that the tacklers kind of try to collapse in on you. That's when you can cut it outside for some big gains.
First down and 10 here. Again, almost halfway through this third quarter. Going to be a direct snap and run. Michael Kelsey Jr. pushing forward. Nothing fancy about that one. It's good for about 3 this time. Second down and 7. $35-0 our score if you're just now joining us. Camdenton on top of Waynesville. Waynesville, though, steadily moving this football down the field. Second down and 7 here. Vernon back in the game as the quarterback. Thomas Plummer, the wing back to the left. Vernon keeps it himself. Going to duck and run close to the first down marker, maybe a yard shy. But Waynesville so far in this drive, they've done such a good job, Garrett, of following those lead blockers through the gaps. That's getting them a few more extra yards here. Instead of trying to maybe make the hero play, they're just taking what they're allowed.
They certainly are. They've stayed calm. They've stayed focused. I really like the poise that the Tigers are showing right now on this drive.
Third down and about 2 to go here. Another snap, this time Bishop Godwin, but he's going to be stopped. Maybe got just past the original line of scrimmage. They might give him a few inches here, but it is going to set up fourth down. Well, you've seen Waynesville go for it plenty here tonight. And, of course, with the ball at about the 26-yard line, about 1. They actually did give him a yard. They're going to go for it here, of course. needing to put some points up on the board. Just need a yard to do so. We'll see if they can't get it here. Gonna line up. Thomas Plummer, the wingback. Kelsey Jr. in the backfield. Trying to get him to jump. Camdenton knocking a bite. Here's the snap off to Vernon. Pile forms, but it looks like he gets the... He's going to cross it.
Talking about earlier, you need 2 yards really throughout the rest of the season. Just keep moving that football. First downs lead to touchdowns. Touchdowns lead to winnable games.
First down and 10. Again, ball is going to be just in front of the 25-yard line. Bit of trickery in the backfield here for Waynesville. Couple of fakes before eventually, well, letting it stay with Bishop Godwin as he goes up the middle for about 5. Faked it to the wingback, then faked it to the fullback, then decides, you know what, I'm just going to keep it myself. Simple enough as Godwin switches out with Vernon. Second down and 5 upcoming. This drive still going on. Again, assisted by the turbo clock, but this drive almost 9 minutes long.
Long drive right now for the Tigers. Very impressive.
This be a long drive without the turbo clock. Michael Kelsey Jr., direct snap. He's going to have himself another 5. Going to be close to the first down marker, but I think he fell across the line. Looks like they're going to give him that for momentum. So first down and 10, now on the 15.
Yeah, Kelsey has been really impressive to me lately. I think he's been just bursting through the holes. You seem to be a fan of him a little bit sooner than I was, but he's really shown me something tonight. Very impressive.
I'm a fan of the whole team, Garrett. Third down and 1. Actually, it looks like they didn't give it to him, but he's going to get it right here. He'll get about 2 or 3 pushing forward. But you are right. Kelsey Jr., a player, of course, who was called up there after the injuries to a couple running backs here before him, but he's really impressed in his time in these first few weeks. Of course, Kelsey Jr., a sophomore, 5'9", 165 pounds, but he's got some speed. He's got some nice downhill speed. That's why you see him running from that backfield spot a lot. He can get the direct snap, charge forward, get 2 or 3 like he did right there, and get a new set of downs. First down and 10, ball on the 13 now. Now it's going to be Vernon with the direct snap. He's going to get to about the 8-yard line. And really, it's just been 5 yards at a time right now here for this Waynesville offense. Very consistent chunks of change. If I use that phrase tonight, I think I already have, but it's all right. Very consistent, the Waynesville offense.
It is a correct call, I could say, none the least. I mean, consistently picking up 4 to 5 yards is what this team, again, is built to do, and they're continuing to show that right here.
So second down and 5 here. Handoff, wing back. Chase Thomas Plummer, he's got some open space. He's in to score, touchdown. Here the Tiger roar, Waynesville, with their first touchdown of the game. Put 6 points up on the board, Chase Thomas Plummer. He scores from 8 yards out.
A little bit of read option play right there. That creates some space for Chase Thomas Plummer to go right up the middle, hit the B gap and explode through it right into the end zone. Would not be denied, and you can hear the excitement coming through the Waynesville Tiger crowd right now.
And of course, that touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morse Ford of Waynesville St. Robert, as they're going to charge in for the 2-point conversion, make it 35-8. Ed Morse Ford, always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morse. So Waynesville finds their way in. 8 yards. Chase Thomas Plummer up the middle, and that'll make it 27 points here. Camdenton still leads 35-8. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z 102.3.
If you've been to Flo's 66 Diner in St. Robert, then you're one of the many. And if you haven't been there, you need to get on the bandwagon because you're missing out. The owner, Missy, has been in the restaurant biz since she was a kid and offers you the best in home-cooked daily specials. Breakfast with one of everybody's favorites, their biscuits and gravy, and, of course, everything else on the menu. That's Flo's 66 Diner next to O'Reilly's on historic Route 66. They're open 7 days a week. And by the way, word is that Flo's 66 Diner has the best servers in town.
It's tailgating savings all September at your Napa Auto Parts store, St. Robert Auto Supply. Fuel your passion and protect your engine with Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic and High Mile Motor Oil, on sale $29.99 for synthetic, $30.99 for high mile. Save $15 on a pair of Trico Premium and Super Premium wiper blades. And save 30% on a Maxi Track duffel bag, now $13.99. These savings and more are at your Napa Auto Parts store, St. Robert Auto Supply, off Missouri Avenue in St. Robert. Get the good stuff 7 days a week.
Waynesville trying to be a little bit spicy on the ensuing kickoff. after their first score of the day. The onside kick, unfortunately, going to be recovered here by Camdenton.
That was number 52, Jackson Scott, on the recovery right there. Offensive lineman and defensive lineman falling on it perfectly.
So the Lakers will get solid field position here to start the drive. It'll be first down and 10 on the Camdenton 49-yard line. A minute 26. By the way, that score does remove the turbo clock. We're back to within 35 here. 27 our current gap. As the Camdenton starters come back out on the field. Bear Shore. Shotgun formation with 4 wide receivers right. Looking to throw to his left, but he's in trouble. He's going to be sacked. It's one of those things we talked about at halftime, Garrett. This defensive line, they are getting through. They are harassing the quarterback, and rewarded there with the sack onto Shore. It's going to be a big loss here after coming out in shotgun formation with the 5-step drop. Good play there from the defensive line.
Thomas Reynolds, I saw, was in on that play. He wasn't the guy to originally bring him down or get his hand on him, but it was definitely one to help out bringing the quarterback down there.
Second down here in 19. Loss of 9 on the previous play. Here's a wide receiver reverse. Hayes Hewitt on the carry, trying to cut back to his right. Almost trips and falls. Good balance there shown by the Camdenton wideout. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage here. It'll be third down and 10. So the sack and then the gain back. Third down and 10. 30 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Waynesville, a 10-minute drive. Shore looking towards the air, in trouble, trying to throw the screen, bounces, but it's going to be ruled incomplete. Receiver was in front on the screen play, so it is an incomplete pass. It'll set up fourth down and 10, and we'll see if Camdenton punts the football away.
Yeah, for one of the first times all night tonight, they may be forcing a punt. That's going to be big in this second half. Very impressive with the Waynesville Tigers, how they're playing the game so far.
Now, looks like Camdenton is going to try to go for here, or at least try to do their punt thing, as Durham will eventually punt it away. This time he keeps it up, and Waynesville's going to go ahead and hit him. And that's going to be a rough in the punter as the punt eventually settles here at about the 22-yard line. You can't hit him. I know he's running out, and I know it looks like he may go for a play at any time, but once that football's away, you can't make the hit. And unfortunately, I think there was big enough gap there that you're going to get that flag thrown on you here. Bit of a mistake there for Waynesville.
You're certainly right. It's something that these Waynesville Tigers probably don't practice very often. It's probably not a rule that everybody is super aware of. Unfortunately, ignorance of the law, no excuse there for the Tigers. That's going to be a tough penalty and a drive continuation for the Camdenton Lakers.
Yeah, so we'll wait for the spot here after the penalty.
Another thing to note on that last drive, we did see Nico Fow, number 75, come out favoring his left leg just a little bit. Something to make note of there for sure. He looks to be standing on the sideline, kind of stretching it out right now. Doesn't seem to be a serious injury, but when Nico Fow's in or out of the game, got to make note of it.
So it looks like the football will be spotted here at about the Waynesville 45-yard line. However, they do get to stay on offense. Again, automatic first down. Shore, shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers left. Waynesville going to jump. Waynesville's been very clean here tonight. Haven't had too many penalties thrown. In fact, I think Camdenton's actually been the more flagged team here tonight. It's kind of come off the wheels a little bit here. A couple flags consecutively, 1 big penalty that lets the drive continue, and then one that'll just give Camdenton 5 extra.
Yeah, 5 extra. Definitely not something that you want to give up often, though. But I think you're right. Waynesville has played a great game with the fundamentals and avoiding penalties.
Shore to the air. Going to go for that screen pass. Leaping up to make the grab. That'll be the tight end. Still moving across the field to his left. Going to try to lower the shoulder, but a nice tackle out there in the open field. That's a big collision there, but the catch made by Kyle Eidson. He'll get about, 2 or 3. Had to run the length of the field to get those 2 yards, but that'll be the play here that ends the third quarter. So we'll return with 12 minutes left on the clock. 12 minutes left to go here in this game. Waynesville still facing a 27-point deficit here to Camdenton, 35-8. Back in 60 seconds we'll be. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3.
The pre
pre-order a new vehicle from Ed Morse Ford in St. Robert. When you do, you lock in your price now to protect from future price increases. Or if you want a pre-owned vehicle, we have a huge selection. Plus, we'll give you top dollar for your trade, and we're still buying late model vehicles. That's cause we've got your back. To check out our inventory with new shipments arriving daily, come by Ed Morse Ford in St. Robert or shop online at edmorsefordstrobert.com and find out what it means to be backed by Morse.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back here once again, Tiger Stadium. 12 minutes left to go here in this one. Camdenton with the football. The Lakers lead by 27 over Waynesville. But Waynesville able to put their first points up on the board here. A long drive. 10 minutes to score. And avoid the shutout here tonight. But still trying to play this one out. It's going to be 2nd and 3 as we come back. Again, Camdenton controlling the ball on the Waynesville 38-yard line. Shore going to send a man in motion, but a whistle on the play. I don't think we are necessarily ready to go just yet. No flags. I don't know if we are necessarily just actually ready to start the fourth quarter yet.
I bet that's what it was too right there. Sometimes high school athletes like to play football a little sooner than these refs, so the fans are quite ready for it. I think that was the case right there.
Passion. You want to play the game. You can't fault it. But we'll just reset the football. We'll get going here for real this time. 2nd down and 3. Camdenton maybe tipping their hand a little bit. They're going to send the same man in motion, and they're going to hand it off to the same man. Riding off to the right, now trying to cut it up the field. He's got the first down. That was Blake Ford on the carry. He'll have about 5 or 6, and he'll get the first down and 10.
Lakers, whenever you're ahead this much in a ball game, you want to just run that clock out as soon as possible, and that's done through running plays like that one.
First down and 10. Shore again looks to the air. Pump fake. A little bit of trouble in the pocket here. Going to be tackled from behind, and it looks like that'll be, well, we'll see where they spot it. It'll either be a gain of nothing or a quarterback sack. Either way, it's a positive result here for the Waynesville defensive line, but it looks like it's going to be no gain. So no sack, unfortunately, but still a nice play to chase him out of the pocket and then make the tackle from behind.
It certainly was. That's the second one of the half so far. This defense coming alive.
2nd down and 10. Ball on the 33. Shore again to the air, looking to his left, going to try to go up the left sideline. That ball is caught. And to the 12-yard line they'll go. Javari Stewart on the catch. Camdenton not really looking to slow things down here as they continue the aerial assault. They'll have it in the red zone. First down and 10 from the 12.
It was a good tackle, by the way, from Johnny Hedrick right there, seeing that wheel route start to develop and reacting to it quickly.
Shore with the hard count, not getting Waynesville to bite. Now going to look off towards the sideline. It's 3 wide receivers right at the moment, 2 to the left. One of those receivers on the left, that'd be Cam Durnan. Throw is going to go to Durnan on the screen. Jukes back to his right. Gets tackled about the 9-yard line. Well guarded on the screen. Short gain of about 3. Taking the tackle, Chase Thomas Plummer on that play.
And I am going to do something a little weird here. I'm going to compliment the blocking on that screenplay. It looked like number 29, if I'm
That'd be Blake Ford for the Lakers.
There. A very, very good block there. Almost switching defenders blocked right there.
Shore again, looking for the slant route across the middle, has Durnan. Durnan going to try to swing himself into the end zone, but he's going to end up a yard shy. He will have the first down, though. First down and goal from the 1. Well, looks like they'll actually move him back to the 3. I am just not on it tonight. So how about 3rd and 1 from the 3? Camdenton, though, quickly to the line. Shore taking the snap, off to the right, going to look for that out route. He's got it, catch is made, touchdown, Camdenton.
Just wide open there was number 3. He got out to the outside on a flat route there that was so quick. There's just not a whole lot you can do to defend it.
Back up to a 33-point game now. Whew. If If my fourth grade teacher could see me now. Back up to a 33-point game, 41-8. Camdenton going to line up for that 2-point conversion. They want to get it back out to 35 once again.
Get that turbo clock rolling here if it's successful.
Sure, a quick pass left side. Durnin, was he in there? Yes, he was. 2-point conversion comes through. And actually, hold on. I think one of our officials may have something to say about that. So they're going to actually overrule the initial call. And they're going to say he caught it with a foot out of bounds. So the 2-point conversion fails. It'll remain 33 points. 41-8 as we take another 60-second timeout. 10:04 left to go in this one. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger football right here on Z102.3.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
For a free insurance review,
for auto, home, life, farm, or business insurance, see me, Dave Howlett, your Shelter Insurance agent in Richland.
Or come see me, John Gregory, in Crocker.
Air Serv Heating and Air in West Waynesville is working these days keeping their customers cool with Luxair's high-performance heating and air conditioning equipment, which is top of the line. Since 1954, Luxair has stood for uncompromising quality and unmistakable attention to detail. Air Serv is your Luxair dealer, but they service all brands. So if your AC is not performing up to par, contact Air Serv at 505 Historic Route 66 at 433-3613 or 774-7805. When Mother Nature turns on the heat, you turn on the air. It's the cool thing to do.
Brandon Howard on the return as we get back to it here. Trying to get back to the middle of the field. He's eventually taken down here at about the 18-yard line or so. So we'll see the Waynesville offense take back over. A touchdown, 3 yards out. Camdenton adding another one through the air here today. 9:55 to go in this contest. 33-point game, 41-8. Tigers trying to find their second straight score here tonight. Good start as Vernon will keep it for himself. Running off to the right-hand side. Another gain of 5 here to start it out. So, well, no, give him maybe 7. 2nd down and 3. Patience, Garrett, patience. It's a virtue. I don't know why I don't practice it enough, but it is 2nd down and 3. And maybe I need to give Vernon more props. I've been more short tonight. I haven't given Waynesville enough credit on some of these runs. This time it's going to be Bishop Godwin on the carry. He's into the secondary. He's past the 35. And again, this quarterback in, quarterback out. You don't see too many teams do it, but Waynesville's using it to pretty solid success right now. It really, I don't think there's too many schools that you'd say have 2 quarterbacks who can really kind of alternate like this.
You're absolutely right. This has been exactly 50-50.
And they both very, very good at running the football. Here's Vernon now on the carry, but this time he's going to be met by a host of Lakers. Nowhere to go. First down, and well, actually, nope. How about 2nd down? And looks like they'll give him maybe a half yard. We'll say 2nd down and 10 still. Clock continuing to march on here. 8:45 on the clock. Reminder to join us next week. Back on the road, Garrett and I go. Back over towards the Springfield area. Kickapoo next week. We'll update you on the Kickapoo score a little bit later on after today's brawl game. Direct snap, Michael Kelsey Jr. on the carry. Michael Carey Jr. on the Kelsey. He'll slash through for about, looks to be about maybe 7 this time. And so, of course, they'll give him 6. 3rd down and 4. I even tried to wait that time, Garrett, and I was still fooled by the referee down there. Oh, 3rd down and 4. I guess it's better than being like 3 or 4 yards off, I guess, at the end of the day. 3rd and 4. Vernon on the carry. Nice cut up field. Going to get close to the first down marker, maybe a yard shy. We'll see what they call his forward momentum. Looks like he may have reached that ball across. They're at least going to mark it near that first down marker at about the 46-yard line. It's going to be 4th and inches. Reached out, got close, but it'll remain. Well, Waiting for the chain gang to really come to a decision here. Now our official will signify first down.
Is indeed a first down there. A little back and forth there. I think they're just messing with you at this
They're
point.
honestly just messing with me at this point. Michael Kelsey Jr. up the middle to about the 49. Still on his feet, still pushing forward. Kelsey Jr. running hard here in the late stages of this one. Make it 3, 2nd and 7. Another minute off the clock. 7:05 left to go as Waynesville, their drives, when they're working, these drives go a long, long time. This one about 3 minutes already.
And still going here for Waynesville. Very, very good drive.
CTP sent in motion. Let the fake handoff. Vernon up the middle for another couple.
I think that CTP nickname should be used more often. That is some powerful consonants.
Well, I think you'll be pleased to know I actually just picked that up from the PA announcer off to our right. He's been calling him CTP all night. I heard it. You know, sometimes it's a little bit easier to say than Thomas Plummer, especially when you're trying to keep up with Thomas Plummer. Very, very quick running back. Don't have enough time making all those cuts. Snap off to Godwin, but a little bit of trouble handling the snap, and it looks like he may have taken a knee trying to pick up the football. That'll be a setback here on 3rd down and 6. And it looks like it'll be 4th down. 4th down about 9. They're going to say he lost about 3 on that shotgun snap. So 4th and 9, Waynesville going to go for it. At least maybe we'll see if they go for it here.
And more than likely, I think they do at this point. I'm not sure what else you really have to lose. But then again, punting, very important part of the game here. Might want to continue to practice that formation as well.
Now they're going to go for it here. It's going to be a snap off to Vernon. Vernon going to try to push forward, but he's met and dropped after a short pickup. That's not going to be enough on 4th down and 9. There is a flag on the play, though, so hold the phone just yet. Flag coming from the Camdenton side of the field. So wait for a second here so we see what the call is.
Regardless of the result of the run, that was an impressive physical run there by number 6. I mean, it took a lot of Lakers to bring him down right there. I think 4 different Camdenton bodies had to get on that young man right there just to even keep him from getting a first down there. Very impressive physical run.
So hold the phone here. The call is going to go against Camdenton. Believe it might be. It's a 15-yard penalty. I'll stop the speculation there. Could have been a face mask. Well, then I proceed to speculate, but it could have been a face mask. Did you see it, Garrett? It was a face mask?
That's what I would assume whenever you have that many people in the backfield could happen.
Godwin on the carry this time. 1st down and 10. Gets to about the 35. Pickup here of 3 on 1st down and 10. So Waynesville catching a break here on this drive as they continue on. 5:28 left to go. Oh. On the phone, flag thrown. Holding going to be called against Waynesville. So a penalty for Camdenton, followed by a penalty here for Waynesville. As that'll move us back to really just about where we were before all the action. The previous couple plays, it'll be 1st down and about 16 from the Camdenton 45-yard line.
This is where this offense is starting to struggle on these big, long gains that they face like this one.
Yeah, the longest play of the game has been 18 yards here for Waynesville. Here's a handoff to Chase Thomas Plummer. Jukes to his left, able to evade a would-be tackler. Gets past the 40 to about the 38 he goes. We'll see where they exactly spot him as he's pushed out of bounds. But a nice gain here on 1st down to get it back to around the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 11. Gain of 5. .508 on the clock here once again. Waynesville trailing by 33, 41-8. Godwin, the quarterback, takes the snap, hands it off. Pushing forward. Again, that's Chase Thomas Plummer. This time he gets a couple. Across the 40 he goes. And then some to about the 38-yard line. Gain of 1, 3rd down and 10. So another third down here. Vernon now in at quarterback. Takes a snap, keeps it himself. Trying to follow Kelsey Jr. through the hole. Dives forward, though. May have lost his bounce as he falls at around the 35. It's going to be well short. Fourth down upcoming here, 4th down and 7.
Yeah, Tigers continuing to show fight here, but I think with just over 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter here, this one is not looking pretty. Chances of a winnable ball game right now are not very high. The Tigers just looking to continue to push this game and continue to show they got some fight left in them.
Yeah, this one really just a matter of getting some practice here for next week. As here's the 4th down play, able to keep himself on his feet. That was Bishop Godwin, but he's only able to prolong the inevitable just a little bit longer. Push backwards, be a turnover on downs, and the Camdenton offense will come back out here onto the field. 3:50 to go. As Waynesville's drive stops well short. Again, another long drive. We're able to pick up a few first downs along the way. But again, a recurring theme here tonight has been, once they get into Camdenton territory, things have stalled out a little bit. They've seen plenty trips into Laker territory tonight, including a couple generated by turnovers. And I think there'll be some plays that we really highlight at the end of this one, Garrett, but they just haven't been able to seal the deal on some of these drives. Pass play here on 1st down. Pass is caught across the middle. Bentley Page making the catch. New quarterback into the ball game, by the way, as Camdenton goes a little deeper into the depth chart. Cade Durnan into the ball game as quarterback. 6'3", 185-pound junior. He's got good size. He'll go to the air, this time once again. Pocket collapsing, trying to go across the middle again. This time intended receiver. That would be Mitchell Sakes. But it falls incomplete, and that'll set up 2nd down and 10.
And judging by the roster here, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the quarterback we're seeing right now for the Lakers is the guy who's going to take up the mantle after Bear Shore leaves and goes on to do whatever football or other great things he's got planned for his life.
Yeah, I mean,
interesting look at the next year.
You've got several Durnans on the roster, and in fact, 2 of them are listed as quarterbacks. You've got Cade, who of course is in the ballgame at the moment. You've also got Cam and Carson as well. Cam, of course, the wide receiver who we've seen in spades here tonight, but you also have Carson, a sophomore quarterback as well. So the Shores, there's been plenty of them. Looks like the future may be the Durnans, though. Well, the present is the Durnans. The future may also be the Durnans here as well. Timeout going to be called, though, on the field. Timeout taken here by Camdenton with 3:32 left to go here. It's always fun. I don't know if you have any siblings. I had a sibling in high school. We didn't play the same sports because, you know, boys, girls, they have different sports. But it's always fun to have siblings in high school with you. It's just more spice, more friends, more people know you. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Is that a feeling you know?
A little bit. See, I'm the oldest. I got a little brother who just hit his freshman year, and so I'm finally starting to see those teachers who are like, "Oh, I met your brother," and all of this stuff.
Oh, don't get me started.
It's pretty cool to see. I gotta say, he's definitely better at football than I was. I'll tell you that much for sure.
As the youngest, I had to overcome a very sterling reputation. Here's a handoff. It's going to be Sakes on for a 2nd down. Actually, might have lost the football there. I think it's on the ground. Who's going to recover it out there? I think it may have been fallen on here by, well, looks like might have been recovered here by Waynesville. So Waynesville, I think, may have recovered the football. Definitely not much of a celebration. Kind of subdued there after the fumble recovery. But Waynesville's offense back out onto the field.
We'll celebrate for him up here in the booth. That's the 2nd fumble in the game by my count so far. He's been hit very well. And that was another case, like you're always saying, put the helmet on the football, those things happen.
Knock it loose. Yeah, I mean, that was going to be a loss of 4 or 5 irregardless. That's not a word. How about regardless? I'm better than that. But able to pop the football out once again and get their 2nd fumble recovery of the day. 3:24 on the clock, 41-8. Going to line up pistol formation, but a flag before the snap. Call's going to be false start here against Waynesville. little bit too eager out of the pistol formation. So first down and 15. Again, the score 33 points, so no turbo clock. Clock back to stopping after almost the entire third quarter going by in one drive. A little bit surreal. Third quarter took us about exactly 12 minutes tonight. Vernon to the air, going to throw it across the middle, trying to find Howard. That ball's knocked up in the air. It bounces around, but eventually falls incomplete. That ball bounced up about 2 or 3 times between 2 or 3 Lakers before finally coming to rest. Waynesville catching a break there. Almost the third interception of the day here for this Waynesville offense.
It was certainly close. I think that one hit about 20 different fingertips on the way down. Some of them Tigers, most of them Lakers right there, throwing a bit of a risky ball into double coverage there, which is going to happen when you're down this much. You want to get yourself back into the game, roll the dice, and take some risks right there. Didn't come up correct for the Tigers, and almost was not what you want to see.
Undeterred, same formation. Vernon this time, that might have been Godwin throwing it up there. Has a man, caught by Brooks. Brooks leaping up and making the grab. That was Bishop Godwin on the throw. He shows off the cannon.
That's something that I think we always want to see. We talk about how much we love the run game, and we do. It's a very important part of the game, but nothing gets you up out of your seat faster than a deep ball down the field and a wide receiver who can jump up and get it, and that's what we saw right there.
Brooks, a nice tall kid out there at wide receiver, 6'3", the junior. Shows off the leaping ability there to bring down that one. Vernon back in at quarterback. He's going to try his luck from the air now. Now going to tuck it and try to run perhaps as he cuts up field. Good decision to scramble here as he's still on his feet. Going to be hit about the 8-yard line, still trucking forward, and eventually he'll be taken down all the way at the 5. Nice decision there from Vernon. Looked for his first target, then tried to check it down. Wasn't there. Just tuck it, run, get some yards, and do what you know you can do. That's truck a couple defenders.
I love the vision there that was shown by David Vernon. I mean, cutting it left and then going back up to the middle of the field. Usually a quarterback will just try to get out of bounds there, kind of go off to the sideline. Not Vernon, though. He cut it upfield there for a nice gain.
Back to Godwin. Godwin looking for the slant across the middle. Had Brooks. Brooks can't hang on. The pass just a little bit too high for him to handle that time. He's 6'3", a very tall frame out there. That one just a couple inches too high for him, though.
It certainly was, and this offense is not really used to passing the ball often, and maybe a timing issue right there. Godwin also threw it just a little bit too high, a little too much sauce underneath that one as well. Just a little bit of a timing issue. Still got a couple of chances to turn this drive into some points, though.
Yeah, had the man open, just couldn't complete the connection there. Of course, Waynesville with 2 passing touchdowns on the year, both of which came against Glendale in Week 1. Here's Vernon once again at quarterback. Going to go to the air, going to try the same route. This time it's thrown behind Brooks, though. They're trying to find Brooks. They're trying to get him there. Already one big catch on the drive, but it'll be third down here and goal.
As they should whenever you're in the red zone. Anytime you see a 6'3" on the depth chart, you're likely going to go to that guy. I mean, my goodness, he is so tall. He is so impressive, and we've seen him jump up and catch the ball on this very drive, so we know he can do it. Let's see if he can do it on this drive for a touchdown.
Yeah, still 4 yards to the end zone here. Here's Godwin now, trying to find the comeback route. Is it caught? It's going to be complete, but I think it's still going to be a yard shy. Look for the comeback route. Having to dive back to the football was the intended receiver on the play. Solid pass, but now you got to finish it off here. It's going to be 4th and 1. 4th and goal from the 1 is a better way to say that here, Garrett.
Yeah, this one's going to be a pretty exciting play here. This might be the last score of the ball game for either side. See if they can finish strongly here.
Yeah, going to line up back in that wingback formation here after seeing pistol for most of this drive. Vernon with it, tucks his head, runs into the line. Did he get enough? Looking for the indication here. Our official's in on it. And he's going to be short. Stopped at the 1. And you know, if there really wasn't a better indicator of how Waynesville's offensive fortunes have gone here tonight, that's really it. You get to the 1 yard line, and then you just stall out.
Symbolic of the entire night of offense for Waynesville. I love how you brought that around. That's broadcasting 101. Very impressive.
Wow. Storylines.
That's exactly what this game has been. You get it deep into Camdenton territory. Every single time something seems to start to go your way, it just stalls out. It seems like every time the Tigers have something going, the Lakers can just flip this switch and get it back into their possession, or at least get momentum back on their side.
So the ball on the one, Cade Durnan can't take a knee from the one, so going to have to run a play here. Empty backfield, Durnan dropping back to pass, rolling out to his right, now going to move forward out of the end zone as he jukes back to his left, still on his feet as he enters the secondary. Waynesville going to collapse here. They hit him about the 21-yard line. Big hit coming in here as Waynesville collapses, but it's going to be enough to get Camdenton away, and well, we really should see him. Well, if they just don't want to run a couple more plays here with some players on number 2, number 3 in the depth chart, might just see him run it out, or we could just see him run some plays here.
Yeah, at this high school level, I think you just kind of let it air out every once in a while. Give the fans something to watch.
You let them get their live reps. Durnan throwing it a bit too high, though, trying to find Bentley Page across the middle. Really don't see much of a problem with it. Of course, when you start to bring in those players on the depth chart, you love those live reps. Of course, Coach Barkley has even referred to it. You don't get too many opportunities for live reps. And so, of course, you might as well try it. You bring in some players who maybe don't see the field on Friday nights as often, and you kind of let them get that opportunity under the lights. 1:03 left to go here in this one. Another pass. This time it's going to be the screen. Caught across the middle. To about the 30-yard line he goes. Big man making the catch there. That'd be Ethan Evans. 6'4", Evans. Wide receiver, defensive line. You don't see that combination too much.
Not very often. You know he's either a physical wide receiver or a very finesse-heavy defensive lineman. Probably both.
Durnan again looking to air it out, but comes forward in the pocket. Now going to tuck and run. Hit taken down, but he does have enough for the first down. 30 seconds left. Might be the last play of the ball game, or they might opt to run just one more here. Get one last live rep in.
And that is the second time on this drive that Cade Durnan has taken a hit that I kind of winced at just a little bit. The original one a couple of plays ago, right at the leg. That was tough. Clean, but real tough. Second one right there.
And Durnan going to air it out here. 18 on the clock. Rolling out to his left. Throws up a soft one. Has a man. It's caught. About the 50-yard line. Waynesville going to swarm to it. For momentum going to be called here at the 49-yard line.
That was caught by number 12, Noah Brewer. He's a senior, 6 foot. Wide receiver, defensive back. That's one we're used to seeing.
Yeah, you really are. Wide receiver, defensive back, quarterback, D-back, offensive line, defensive line.
Should be last play of the ball game here.
Should be right here. 3 on the clock. Durnan just going to air this one out up the right sideline. Brooks on the coverage, and that ball's going to be caught. That'll be caught, and that'll be the ball game. As this one will come to a close, the Camdenton Lakers come out and win this one here by a final score of 41 here to 8. So a 35-0 score at the half. Things really slow down at the break, but unfortunately the Lakers, too much of a jump, came out and exploded offensively and really put this one out of reach before we could really get going here in this one. We'll have some numbers for you. We'll have time to talk about it as we go through our short post game here today. We'll see if we have any other final scores from around the region. But for now, it'll be a 2-minute timeout. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, come back in a moment. Again, your final score here tonight, 41-8 in favor of Camdenton. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3.
Lowe Chevrolet in Waynesville is one of Missouri's top-performing Chevy dealers. They're locally owned and operated. Lowe Chevrolet is getting more new inventory every week. When the semi-truck rolls onto the Lowe Chevrolet parking lot, pick what you want off the truck right there on the spot. Check back often to see what new vehicles have arrived. Find them online at lowchevy.com. And of course, see them off I-44 exit 156, Waynesville.
Here at Mountain Dew, we'd like to remind you, life doesn't always have to be so serious. You gotta know what's important and what's not important. Here's a checklist. Knowing how to tie a tie, not important. Standing up for your friends, important. Keeping a diary, not important. Always keeping some Mountain Dew in the fridge, important. Trying all the different bold flavors of Mountain Dew, important. Like Mountain Dew Spark, important. Mountain Dew Major Melon, important. Mountain Dew Code Red, important. Mountain Dew Voltage, important. Mountain Dew Livewire, important. Experience the boldest flavors on earth. Do the Dew.
What if you stepped out of the picture tonight? How would you want to be remembered? And who would make decisions about planning your funeral service? This is Martin Vernon, owner of Memorial Chapels and Crematory. We help families create meaningful services that respect and honor the memory of their loved one's life. At Memorial Chapels and Crematory, we offer our support and guidance when your family needs us the most.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we could teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Back here once again at Tiger Stadium here in Waynesville. This one is in the books. Unfortunately, Waynesville falls here tonight. They drop to 1-2 on the season, losing here to Camdenton 41-8. A game once again that was really decided in that first quarter. The Lakers coming in, putting in 21 points in the first quarter. They put up 14 in the second quarter, put it to 35-0 at the half. The second half, a little more balanced. And, of course, it is impressive and it is important to note Waynesville was able to finally score against those Camdenton starters. But Camdenton came out much too strong, much too early here for Waynesville to mount any kind of serious comeback effort here tonight. So Garrett tallying up the numbers off to my left here, of course, looking for some rushing numbers here tonight because Waynesville ultimately, storyline of the game, missed opportunities for the Tigers. They were able to drive the ball. They did it rather successfully. Only a couple of drives really ending in their own territory. They found themselves able to get within Camdenton's side of the field, but interceptions, fourth down, turnover on downs, just situations where you weren't able to finish up the drive and pick up some points here today. You're going to look at it and you're going to kind of say, well, darn, if only we were able to push that ball just a couple more yards, especially very much highlighted, obviously the game out of hand at that point, the 4th and 1 at the 1-yard line. But, of course, Camdenton comes out throwing the ball here quickly, and you got to, of course, talk about some improvements. The secondary, much improved in that second half. We were talking about it, and, of course, Garrett still working on those stat lines over there, so I'm not going to throw it over to him like I'm prone to do. But you got to look and see they were much able to keep themselves in front of the receivers. Only a couple of really deep passes allowed there in that second half, forcing Bear Shore to really kind of keep it short. The checkdowns, the flat, the throws to the flats, even a couple of sacks, even got the fumble recovery there as well. Waynesville, of course, we talked with Coach Barkley earlier on before the Jamboree. He wanted to be a coach of a team that generates turnovers. They had plenty of opportunities to do that here tonight. So you got to look at the positives here. The first game of a very, very tough home stretch. You make some changes here into the next week, and then you try to take on Kickapoo, who, of course, we'll talk about here before we go on here tonight. So, of course, Garrett's still working on here. We'll go ahead and take ourselves another 2-minute timeout. I think we'll be ready to go. We'll go over some numbers here for you. And, of course, we'll wrap things up with some final scores from around our portion of the state. We'll see what's going on in the Ozark Conference, maybe some important other games here as well. Back in 2 minutes, you're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football, Z102.3.
Now a great time to pre-order a new vehicle from Ed Morse Ford in St. Robert. When you do, you lock in your price now to protect from future price increases. Or if you want a pre-owned vehicle,
If you've been to Flo's 66 Diner in St. Robert, then you're one of the many. And if you haven't been there, you need to get on the bandwagon because you're missing out. The owner, Missy, has been in the restaurant biz since she was a kid and offers you the best in home-cooked daily specials. Breakfast with one of everybody's favorites, their biscuits and gravy, and, of course, everything else on the menu. That's Flo's 66 Diner next to O'Reilly's on historic Route 66. They're open 7 days a week. And by the way, word is that Flo's 66 Diner has the best servers in town.
And once again, welcome back here to Tiger Stadium here in Waynesville. Again, this one in the books. Waynesville falling here tonight, 41
That's
to
the
8.
plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Again, sorry about that. Coming back here to Tiger Stadium in Waynesville. This one in the books, 41 to 8, our final score. The Camdenton Lakers come into Waynesville and do leave with a victory. Connor Harbin here with you alongside Garrett Bowles as we wrap this one up here today. Garrett, we'll go ahead and send it on over to you. We've got some numbers here from tonight.
Just a few numbers. The Waynesville offense has been so spread out throughout the past couple of weeks, and that continued tonight. So many different people getting the ball from Kelsey to Vernon to Chase Thomas Plummer, or CTP as we're now calling him, which I love that name, by the way. Just all over the field, of course, also as I flip my roster over here, my bad, Dave and Vernon, Bishop, Godwin. I mean, we know the usual suspects throughout the game. They all, as a total, added up 86 yards in the first half on the ground, 72 in the second half for a grand total of 158 yards on the ground. That's not bad against a defensive line that we talked about how much they've improved at the beginning of the game so far.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you got to look here, and you were able to move the football. And again, we continue to kind of harp on it here, and I don't want to kind of push the stake too far into the heart, but you just weren't able to finish the drives here today. You got the yardage, just need to put up the points on the board, especially once you start getting within the red zone. Twice today, we saw Waynesville get within the red zone and then ultimately end up short. So that's something you take a look at. You say, well, got to work on finishing things off and maybe come back here and take on Kickapoo. So, of course, Garrett, we'll go ahead and wrap things up here by a look at the scoreboard. Some scores here. And, again, our game getting done relatively early. That third quarter really going by in a flash. So some of these games might not be final just yet, but at least we can get a look here at where things stand. Of course, the big game here tonight, actually a final, and it's going to be Class 6 who wins in the battle of Class 6 versus Class 5. Nixa overcomes Carthage 22-21 there in that one. So looks like an all-timer out there in Nixa. Lamar defeats Monette here today 49-0. Webb City ultimately pulls away from Republic. That was a close game in the second quarter, but they do win that one 35-14. Bone over to the Ozark Conference now. Lebanon, they defeat Kickapoo, our next week's opponent, actually our two next opponents. Lebanon defeats Kickapoo 31-10 in their game here today. And West Plains, they defeated Hillcrest 55-0. Again, that was a game played yesterday, so that's been final for quite some time now. Of course, some other scores of importance. Close game for a district opponent. Branson taking on Willard here today. Branson leading that one 14-13. We'll see if the Pirates pull that one out. Bolivar, a safe lead over Parkview here at the moment in the fourth. That one's 44-12. Glendale leading Rolla 26-13 there in that one. And then, of course, the last score we were kind of looking at kind of arbitrarily. Neosho pulling ahead of Carl Junction 48-22. I want to mention Neosho, their offense puts up a lot of points. You might remember week one. 78-72 was it?
I believe
they had
yes.
They had that absolute shootout. So it's kind of fun to watch and see how many points that Neosho offense really kind of puts up. So we'll go ahead and wrap things up here today. Don't forget, next week we are on the road back towards the Springfield area. We will see Kickapoo, the Chiefs. Of course, they fall to Lebanon here tonight. They'll be looking for some revenge. Second opponent will play in a row coming off of a loss to Lebanon. So we'll kind of see where things shake out from there. But again, for Garrett Bowles, I am Connor Harbit. Hope you enjoyed listening to this one as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you tonight. Until next Friday, you have been listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Good night, everybody. Be good people.